What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy Chris Kane. Let's talk about the Dolphins. So, Pro Football Focus came out today with their ranking for every team's X factor for the upcoming season. This could be a pretty easy list if they just went with the conventional method of just putting everybody's quarterback as the number one pick, but that would be a boring list. So, we had to go to second options or positional needs. So, for the Dolphins, they listed Patrick Paul as the X factor for next year. And that's mostly because he's replacing Teron Armstead, who, as y'all know, was awesome last year. And they don't believe Patrick Paul is very good. And so how he plays determine how the Lions goes. We know the whole time Teron was with the Dolphins, when he played, the Dolphins played well. When he got hurt, we did not. Somehow, his one position had a ripple effect across the whole line. Even though the other positions were all starters, they didn't play good when he wasn't there. Now, Patrick Paul played a little bit last year and he wasn't great. I think he was out of position. Also, he didn't get like the blessing he should have got last year. He is now the dude. He's the man, and he's protecting not to his blind side, but still super important position. And I think the idea is that we believe that James Daniels is going to play at some point. We believe Savanea is going to play at some point. Brewer's great, and we think Austin Jackson's going to come back. So we feel like the rest of the line is going to be okay to good. We don't know what Patrick is going to do. Y'all know I am a Patrick Paul fan. I said the whole draft lead up, we don't need to draft a tackle. Not yet. Anyway, let's see him play first. And if he's not good, okay, fine. We can go look at other options. But I didn't believe in not letting him get to play. He's a second round pick. So Pro Football Focus is saying if he is good, then that basically sets the whole line in motion and the whole team builds from there. I don't think they're wrong about that because we have issues in the secondary, but very few teams lose because they have a bad safety. Like you can kind of lose with a bad second corner because people just target that corner to the point that you got to put a second receiver on him, a second DB on him, and then you can't do your blitz packages because then you have the double receiver, and it can get kind of dicey. But if you have a bad safety, you just kind of put them further back. If you can't cover, go 20 yards back, and then when they catch the ball, run up and make a tackle. We don't need you to be some all-world Ed Reed, the GOAT level safety. We just need you to not bite on double moves, run up, and then get thrown over the top of. But when your left tackle is bad, yeah, that can sink your team easily. We've seen it. We've seen left tackles go out, right tackles go out. All of a sudden, you got to shift positions. Kansas City last year, tackle got hurt. Let's move our all-pro guard to the outside. Guess what happened? Disaster. He was okay for the first game or two, and they're like, oh, he's so good. He can play both positions. Nope, not the same. And he started getting exposed. And when he got exposed, Patrick Mahomes got hit. When Patrick Mahomes got hit, Chiefs weren't as good. That's how that goes. So they have Patrick Paul as our X factor. I don't hate the pick. I think it's a pretty strong one. Tua is obviously our most important player, but if Patrick Paul does his job, that goes a long way to keeping Tua healthy. So there's a they do kind of scratch one back on that situation. But again, Pro Football Focus, they like putting lists out, so we'll let them get this off. But I think it's not a bad choice. This is an interesting question. I couldn't believe this article when I saw it. They said, should the Dolphins make a move to bring Keenan Allen in to be their slot receiver? Now, you guys know I am a fan of Malik Washington. I think he has a big upside. He was great in getting open last year. We just didn't give him the ball enough. I am a bigger fan of Keenan Allen for his career. I've watched Keenan Allen, to me, defy the odds. I never thought he was super fast. I never thought he was super twitchy. And yet, he's always open. He always catches the ball, and he scores touchdowns. He's been pretty consistent. I think he's 33 now, so he's getting old, kind of long in the tooth. He is no longer a game breaker. He was never really a game breaker, but he was a more impactful player before. I think what he could possibly bring to the team is a leadership presence that can teach the younger guys. Tyreek is easily our best receiver. We know that. But Tyreek to me is not a good leader for young receivers. Like you don't watch Tyreek and say, "Oh, I should do that to be a good receiver." Tyreek just does what Tyreek does. He's like Manny Ramirez back in the day. Oh, that's just Manny being Manny. But not everybody should be Manny. That was him doing his job. Tyreek is Tyreek. I think Jalen Waddle could be a good coach or could be like a good leader, but he's never really seemed to jump to the role of being like a mentor. He just kind of does his own thing too. He's just a little bit more quiet with it. I think Keenan Allen, what he does to get open, how he positions his body, how he just gets open in the middle of the field, how he is in the red zone, all those things translate to the young people because we're basically rebuilding our team through drafts and through 1 year deals with a bunch of young people. And I like the idea of having someone older who's experienced, who knows his role, who you may throw him 4 to 5 passes a game. He's not going to throw a hissy fit on the sideline. I think he'll enjoy his time in Miami. And he's probably still right now better than Taj or Malik Washington, but he doesn't have obviously like the next 3 to 5 years that they do. But I think even if he just spells those guys from time to time, I think there's value in that. The money would be a factor. I mean, we can't pay him any kind of real money. But if the idea is, hey, we love our 1 and 2 receiver, I have told you I think John is coming back. So we have our two A and B receiver and John, and then you throw Keenan Allen as a slot receiver. You basically have a whole positional squad of experienced, fast in a couple instances, guys who get open, guys who catch the ball to like let the offense go. If the old line is doing their job, we know Achan is going to do his job as well. We really got something cooking. And then you can deploy Taj and Malik as you see fit, right? I think there's something there. I would not spend any real money. I'm talking 1 year, 1 to 2 million. If he's talking 4, 5, 6 million, no chance. Not necessary. Get out of here. But if he's like, hey, nobody's signing me. I think I still have value to the team. I can kind of be a player leader. We need more adults in the locker room. Tua is the leader of the team, but Tua is just now kind of finding his voice. I don't think Tyreek's a leader, so get that out of here. Jaylen Waddle could be a leader, but Jaylen Waddle hasn't shown that he wants to be. And none of our old linemen, to me, outside of Teron Armstead, who now just retired, have enough like stability and career to say, hey guys, follow me. Even our best defenders, like obviously outside of Sealer, both our DNs hurt all the time. Chop going to his second year. Like we don't have a ton of people that can stand in front of you and say, hey, listen to me, I've done some stuff in this league. Check my tape. So if that's the case, I'm here for it. If he's wanting real money, if he wants a lot of playing time, if he wants a bunch of receptions, get out of here. Not here for it. It will be an interesting choice. I don't think it's happening. I've heard nothing about the Dolphins looking for another receiver. But the article came out, so I thought we should talk about it. I don't know why Tyreek keeps getting on the track. Y'all know I've gotten beef from some people through Twitter and other social media. It's like, yo, why you keep talking about Tyreek racing? It's just because I want Tyreek to just be locked into football. That's my only thing. I love the shenanigans of Tyreek. It's part of the reason. It's part of his charm, right? And if he's saying, I feel like I was slow last year, so I'm doing all this track stuff to get back to where I used to be, hey, he got me. I don't think that's what it is. I think he's doing a look at me Louie in the offseason, even though he's Tyreek Hill. We know who you are. You are awesome. Tyreek is a future Hall of Famer. You're great. But Tyreek got back on the track again, ran the 100-meter against a Lyles, not Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles' is little brother, and he smoked him, right? So Tyreek has beat a Lyles. Congratulations. Not the one he wanted. He ran a 10-10 and 100, which is awesome. Now, he finished fourth in the race. That we got to put that little caveat. He did finish fourth, but he did beat the other Lyles. I'm convinced he only got in this race to beat Noah's brother just to go back at Noah and be like, is this your king? Come avenge your little brother. This to me had nothing to do with I just want to race. He just wanted to beat Noah Lyles' brother just to be petty, which I got to say content-wise, thoroughly appreciate. Thoroughly appreciate that content-wise because he could have raced anybody. There's always races going on. The fact that he chose this one, knowing who was in it, is awesome. The reason why I never took the him and Noah Lyles race seriously is because he ran a 10-10 today, which by mortal standards, awesome. But Noah Lyles' best 100 meters in 9.8. Tyreek just ran a 10-10. On a track, that is an eternity. Like, he is, I don't know, 5-6 steps in front of, like, that's a big gap. 0.3 seconds is crazy. Those aren't the same race. So the idea that, oh, we ran 100, I'm going to get you, what are we doing? And I think Noah can actually run faster than 9.8. I just think he hasn't yet. But that's fine. But he did beat Noah's little brother, and I do appreciate a certain amount of pettiness. I do. It's funny to me. I don't know if he has any more races left in him, but he was calling out I Show Speed. I haven't heard any more about that story. I think Speed is doing content around the world. Maybe when he comes back to Miami, they'll set a race up. I do think Tyreek is faster than Speed. But just the idea that I'm going to race my ops little brother, you can't get more petty than that. I don't know. I just appreciate what Tyreek is, and he's himself. This is probably why he's not like probably the leader he should be, but it is the reason why we talk about him. It's the reason why he's, I don't know, probably the most popular guy on the team. But I appreciate the level of pettiness. And finally, we can get to some reader comments. So you guys jump in my comments from time to time and just ask questions that you want me to talk about in the pod. And the number one question I've gotten in the last couple of days, because yesterday we didn't have an episode, was why is it that Miami always struggles against Buffalo? And I think this is a really interesting question because you can say, oh, Buffalo's really good and Miami's not. That's it. But that's not how the NFL works. We all know there's styles and fights, right? Like no matter how good a team is, there are certain teams that just kind of have their number, and they're like, I know we're better than you, but you might still get us. Like there was this whole thing with Lamar not being able to beat Pittsburgh, but the Ravens are almost always better than Pittsburgh for like the last 5 years, and then they'll play Pittsburgh and somehow lose. I know it's divisional, but this Buffalo Miami is divisional, and it's like, what is it? Oh well, Justin Tucker missed 4 kicks in a game. It's like, but he only missed 5 for the year. Yeah, but he just failed that year. Oh, some guy fumbled at the 1 yard line and they lost. Oh, that's the one game that Najee Harris played well. Like something would just happen to just let Pittsburgh win. In our case of Buffalo, the one time we beat them during the two administration was when they came to Miami. It was crazy hot. They couldn't spike the ball at the end of half. Like they was losing it. That cut to Ken Dorsey up in the box when they couldn't get the playoff, and he was like, ah! He was lost. He just crashed out because if they spiked the ball, they would have got a field goal, and that probably would have been enough points to win the game. But it was Tua. I think he wasn't concussed, but he definitely got hit, and his head got jostled. Came back and threw probably the best ball he's thrown to Jaylen Waddle in their career. Like Jaylen ran like an end breaking like 50-yard route, dropped it in between double coverage, perfect pass, great route from Jaylen Waddle, and that was the one time we got him, and it was unbelievably hot. You saw guys in Buffalo just they were dying on the sideline. That's the one time we got him. But if you think back to the playoff game where Skylar Thompson played, the Dolphins were winning that game basically the whole time. Raheem Mostert was awesome in that game. Jaylen Waddle dropped a bunch of passes. I don't know what he was doing. And even with that, they were still winning the game. And what I've seen is when the Dolphins have a chance to make that move, they don't. Like they'll be up, it'll be 14-7, Dolphins have the ball. This is a chance to go up 17-7, 21 and kind of pad the lead, and they'll go 3-and-out. And then Buffalo scores, and it's like, oh, Buffalo scored again. And it just, there's always the moment in the game. We saw it was 2 years ago where we had an opportunity to really take a commanding lead and then let a punt return touchdown happen. And it's like, we were playing so good the whole game, and then you let a punt return touchdown happen. There's little moments in every matchup, and then some of it might stem with just self-confidence, right? When a team is beating you a lot of times, there is that thing in the back of your mind like, here we go again. Here we go. Can't get them. Oh, yeah, of course they call roughing the passer when our defense played perfectly for 4 straight plays, and now they score a touchdown, and now you start looking down like, it's not meant to be, man. They got our number, and then that keeps happening. And then the media keeps telling you, Buffalo's great. Buffalo, Josh Allen, MVP, all that. I get it. But we've also seen Buffalo lose to teams that aren't that great. It doesn't make sense that a good team just can't be beat. And like I watched the Colts beat the Chiefs the year they won a Super Bowl, and that Colts team was not good. And they just didn't let them off the hook. They just didn't. They just kept winning. They just kept making plays. It was interesting. So I think it starts with the confidence thing. Like, do the Dolphins believe we're good enough to beat Buffalo? Do you believe that? That's the first thing. Hey, they're not better than us. We can beat them. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to execute. Like, you can't play a C game against a team that has been beating you. And that's kind of what we do. We haven't played an A game against Buffalo, start to finish, probably ever, if we were being 100%. Not a 2 administration, like a straight, the whole game played well. We've had quarters, we've had kind of comebacks, we've had moments, but from start to finish, like defense locked in, offense locked in, we have not had that game yet. And we played them twice a year. It doesn't really make sense mathematically. You would think Tua's going to his 6th year, so you would think you played them 10 times, you haven't had one start to finish good game yet. To me, that's psychological. No one's that much better than someone else. I just don't believe that in the NFL. I don't believe that. Right? So I think I think it's more mental than it is physical because Buffalo's biggest strength is their offensive line and Josh Allen. Their receivers are mid. James Cook was awesome last year. Secondary was not good last year. D line is good. Linebackers were injured. And then we're still getting beat by 20, 30 points. It's like, this is not even close to the best Buffalo, but they're just steamrolling the Dolphins. It doesn't make any sense outside the mental part of it. So, I don't know. I think if they can get over the mental hurdle and just play them like we think we're better than you, then yeah, maybe so. All right. And the last question: what do you expect from Jaylen Wright this year? That is a good question. I am probably not as high on him as I should be because of how last year ended. I like where his mentality is going into the year. He's talking about I'm putting on weight. I know what I have to do. I kind of wore down late in the year. I didn't have my NFL body. So he's saying the right things. Um, Devon is clearly the number one. So he's going to get the lion's share of the carries. I haven't seen yet if the Dolphins are going to carry four running backs. If they're going to carry four running backs, then I don't expect much of anything because that means that they at some point want to play the other three backs. Devon's got to get enough touches to do what he does. So that's passing, running. He's going to get 15 up to 20 touches a game, right? That's kind of what that looks like. Um, but there's three other running backs. So if he gets 15, 20 touches, how many running back touches are we getting per game? Like 30, 35 total? I don't know what we're looking at there. If we only keep three running backs, then yeah, I think he has a really good chance to be number two back, right? That seems fair. I like what Ollie Gordon could bring to the offense because I believe the Dolphins need a power running back. That's what I believe. The team, I think, wants tweeners and receivers, and they kind of want a do it everything back. You guys know I did an episode, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I like the idea of Devon and Ollie being like the Sonic and Knuckles that Detroit have. That's what I like as far as a model for the team. Devon is so fast that like linebackers are scared to pick the wrong gaps. So everybody's a little slower because they don't want to make the wrong move. And then you come in with Ollie Gordon and he just like bludgeons you with his 230-pound frame. I like that as a 1-2 punch personally more than what I think we're going to do, which is, oh, Devon's quick. He can receive and run. Let's bring in Jaylen Wright, who could do a lot of the same stuff, but a little bit slower. And we just kind of keep the same offense. So I think he has a big capacity to maybe get up to 10 carries a game. That's if Ollie really isn't like showing up. Up to 10 carries a game, maybe 1 or 2 pass attempts. Not really a fantasy viable option, but if he can be a number two just to spell Devon, I think that's solid. Like just to spell him will be fine. Do I think he's going to be X Factor, like super impact guy? I don't see it, especially if we keep two more running backs on the staff. But as a low bar, you know, third down back kind of thing, 5 to 7 carries, maybe a couple receptions, like or pass attempts. He may not get the ball. That's what I see from now. But we'll see as we go along in the OTA process in the offseason. If the coach starts saying, "Yo, man, Jalen's earning playing time," if I start hearing that kind of rhetoric, that tells me he's beating the other guys out. And if he's doing that, then yeah, I would love to see him get some touches. I mean, we spent a third-round pick on him, so if he really is what we thought he was in the draft, then maybe we'll see more from him. But as of now, I am probably less high than a lot of people are. And it's not because I don't think he's a good player. It's just I think what the team is going to be going for this year doesn't fall as in line with his skill set as we were last year. Which last year we should have been feeding him a lot more. I don't know what happened. Mostert wasn't getting PT. I don't know what we were doing last year at running back. It got a little chaotic. But I think he can be solid. And if we get rid of Madison, solid to good. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate the love and support. Thank y'all for the likes and subscribes. You've been crushing it lately. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.